So let's start the exercise 2 of the lab. Here's the technical drawing I have created after looking at the technical drawing provided to you guys in the lab manual. You can note that all of the dimensions over here, they are in millimeters. I have added some extra dimensions which you don't need in the technical drawing, but I just added them to help you guys create the 3D part faster than it would normally take. So let's go to the AutoCAD and start creating the file. If you click on new, just make sure that you select ACAD 3D DWT template from here. Don't select the ISO one because that will give you the final technical drawing not matching with the template we have. So you have to create it using this template. Once you open it up, it's going to give you a 3D system over here, okay? Once the AutoCAD opens up, you have to make sure that few options over here, they are turned on properly. So the first one is the snap over here, and make sure that these snap options are turned on. And then you have to click on this one also and make sure that's on also. It's called snap tracking. And then it's up to you. You want to turn on the grid snap. We call it snap mode for the grid, okay? That will make sure that when you draw anything, your mouse will only move between the grid points. It will not stay anywhere in between that, okay? For example, look, there are 5 divisions of this dimension over here, so it's only moving on those grid points, okay? So if you turn it on, it will help you guys to snap properly onto the points where you want to snap. You already know that how you can drag the frame over here. You can click the middle mouse button and drag wherever you want, and you see that there are some tools over here. They are visible. These tools will help you rotate the part once it's created. You can even use this box given over here. Whenever you click on any corner of that box, it will rotate the view accordingly. So you can see that. So you can look at the top, you can look at this corner and rotate it whichever way you want. It's up to you. I recommend that you keep your X going towards the right hand side and you start creating the object based on that. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to create a circle over here at the middle of this coordinate system of size 55. So the radius is going to be 27.5, and zoom out because it's really big. You can see that I was zoomed in. So this is the circle we have created. Now you're going to go to 3D tools. In case your 3D tools are not visible, you can right click over here, and from the show tabs you can make sure 3D tools are selected. Now let's go back to the drawing. You're going to click on extrude and click on this circle and press enter. And you can drag up and down to create the cylinder over there. So the height of the cylinder we have is 60. You're going to type in 60, enter. The cylinder is ready. You can zoom in now. If you want to rotate this cylinder and change the view, you can use this button over here, orbit. When you click on it, you can rotate the thing. If you want to just pan, moving the frame to the left or right, you can even use the middle mouse button or this button over here. I rarely use that box over here, but it's up to you. Sometimes you need it. Okay. So let's start drawing the hole in the middle over here. Okay. I There are multiple ways to create the hole in the middle of the part. You can see that over here there is a counterbore hole in the middle. The depth of the counterbore hole is 12, and the die of the bigger die of the counterbore is 30, smaller die is 12. Okay, so let's go to the AutoCAD. There are two options, okay? I'll show you both of them. I recommend the second one. So what I do first, I will go to the home tab and create the circle at the middle of this. If it doesn't snap at the middle, you can hover over the edge and just click. When you click, it's automatically going to pick up the center. You can see that. Okay. So dia is 30. So I'm going to say radius is 15. So the circle is ready. Now you can go to 3D tools and press on this button over here. It's called press pull. When you click in the middle of that circle, you can drag it down and up like that. If you drag out, it's going to create a cylinder above it, but if you drag in, it's going to create a hole in there. So the depth of the hole is 12, and you're going to type in and press enter. The hole is created. The problem with this command is that it leaves the edges behind. You see this edge over here? Let me select it. This edge. You have to delete it at the end by yourself if you use the press pull. But if you use any modeling features over here, the edge is going to be automatically removed from there. Okay. I don't recommend this way because you have to create this part first, then you have to create a part at the middle of it, okay, the smaller hole which is going to be of dia 12 going until the end of the part. I don't do it this way. It's possible to do it this way, but it's not a good technique. Let me show you a better one. So I'm going to go back and then I'm going to zoom out a bit, and if I want to drag the screen to the right, I'll do that. Okay, now what I will do is that I will go to the circle command, and anywhere on this line, you can zoom in if you want, anywhere on this line, you can click here and draw a circle of dia 12, which means radius 6. And then I'm gonna use 3D tools to extrude it. Press enter, up. The height of that, I'm going to keep it the height of the smaller hole over here, which is 60 minus 12, which is 48. So I'm going to say this is 48. Now you see that there is no edge here, is it? Now let's create the second circle through the middle of that, which is of dia 30, which is radius 15. And then you click on 3D tools and press extrude and press on this circle, press enter, go up by 12, press enter. So that counterbore that we have to subtract out of this is ready. But before moving it to the middle and subtracting it from this object, I recommend you do this thing, okay? You have to go on 3D tools and press union. Then it will ask you to select the object. You will select this and that and press enter. They are one piece now, okay? Now let's move them to the middle of this part. The best way to move it is to move the center of this to the center of this one over here, because that's where it starts from. So I'm going to go home, move. We have to select the object first, press enter. Then you have to select the middle of that and move it to the middle of this. If it doesn't lock, hover over the edge, it's going to lock. Okay, now it will lock and you can move it there. The object has moved to the new position. They are, both of them exist at the same place. Okay, so now what you're going to do is that you're going to go to 3D tools and select subtract. Then press on the outer object, press enter. It's going to ask you to select the object you want to subtract. Select that, enter. So you see that we have just created the part in one shot. It's completely done. You can see that. This is the cylindrical part I'm talking about, not the complete part. Okay, I'm gonna do the complete part after this. So you can see that. Okay, and our coordinate system is exactly what we want. So now let's go to, before going to the drawing again, I will get out of this command, which is the orbit command. You have to press escape. Then let's go to the technical drawing again. Now it's time to create this rectangular part over here. Okay, it has a width, it has a depth of 50 and the length of 80. Okay, you can see that the total length, let's say it starts from the middle of this. Okay, the total length is 80 from the middle of the cylinder until the end. And then there's an angle of 65.38 from where the depth of it crosses the cylinder over here. Okay, So I'm going to create it one shot and then I'm going to move it, okay? So then I'm going to create the internal feature over here and the web over here, okay? This is called web, or you can call it wedge. In AutoCAD, they call it wedge. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to go to the home tab and click on circle and zoom in and draw anywhere on that line by locking in there. And I will draw a circle of the external diameter of the cylinder, which is 55, which is 27.5. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the top view. You can see that. Okay. You can zoom in at this place. Okay. So I'm drawing this part over here. Okay. Going upwards. That's what I'm doing. Okay. Because my axis is orientated that way. I can rotate it if I want. I will click on, just 1 minute, let me go out of the pan and click on this, and then it's on this side. Okay, now if you click on top, it's going to show you that way. So in case if it was not aligned properly, you can align it according to with whatever you need. Okay, so I'm going to pan to this side and then press escape. Now it's time to draw the rectangular part. From the center of this circle, I'm going to go this way 80, and then this way 25, and then this way anywhere inside the circle, because I'm going to trim that line. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Then again the line command from here going this way, make sure it selects the end of that line. Okay, it snaps on it, it has to snap. You can turn off the grid over here, snap, and then it will snap the line properly. Okay, so there you go. Now you can turn it back on, but that's not needed, leave that for now. And this way I'm gonna say it's 25, and then again I'm gonna go anywhere until in the middle of the cylinder. Okay, it doesn't have to be exact middle, anywhere inside it. Click, press escape, it's ready. You cannot see the line here, but it's there. When you hover over it, it shows you the line. Okay, now let's go and trim this portion and this portion and this portion. So that part is ready, you can see, but that middle line is also there. Let's delete it. So that part is ready, you can see that this part, this, that. Okay, now you cannot directly extrude it because it's made out of single lines. Okay, so we have to make it we have to make it one entity now. So what you can do, you can select this whole thing and type in here join. It has joined all of them together, it's one piece now. Now you can click on this corner on the box over here, it will show you everything in 3D. Okay, what I will do, I will go to 3D tools and extrude this upwards by the height of 25. That's what the height of that part is in the technical drawing that's provided to us. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this object, enter, but you will select the you see this bottom edge over here, not the top edge, the bottom edge. There's a node of the bottom edge there, which is the middle of the arc over here. Okay, so that node, you see that triangular thing, it's not this one, this is on the top line, but whenever it shows you triangle, it means that it's the middle of the line. Okay, so you click on that, let me zoom into it, but I don't think the nodes are gonna get bigger in size when we zoom in. Okay, so there is no point over there. You see that there is some kind of a triangle there, you're gonna click on that. I'm gonna click on the node of this cylinder. Okay, there, I'm gonna click on that, there you go. So it has connected that cylinder with the part we have over here. They are connected. Don't worry about that gap over here. That gap is just because of the circle. Okay, it is normally there. Even if you created it at the same place, you will still have it. Okay, So let me rotate it. And now the first thing we are going to do is we are going to make this one piece. So union, select this and this, enter. If the union command is working, means that they are connected properly. Okay, so now we are going to create the hole in here. You can see that there is a hole and a rectangular cut over here, which is 8, and the hole is of what size? 10. Radius means dia is 20, and there is a bottom cut over there. You see the hidden lines, that bottom cut, it's of size 30 by 40 it is. Okay, so I'm gonna do it one shot. So first of all, I'm gonna look at the top from here. Otherwise, this is better. Okay, not top. I'm still looking at the 3D object. I was saying top because it was written top over there. Okay, so let's go to the rectangular command first. I'm going to create the base first. You can create it wherever you want, doesn't matter. You're going to pick up the middle of that. Okay, there is no issue with that. Doesn't even have to click on the grid snap. Okay, you don't have to. Just click anywhere and create a rectangle. To create a rectangle, what are you going to do? You are going to create the length of the rectangle to be 40 and then press tab, and the width of the rectangle has to be 30. Press enter. That's the rectangle we have to create. Then pan it on the side. It's already a single entity. Okay, you don't have to make it a single entity, it's already single. If you click on extrude and click this, enter, the height of this part will be taken from technical drawing. It's 10. Okay, so upwards 10, press enter, it's there. Now we are going to create a circle. To create a circle, it's not that easy. Okay, we have to know that how far is the circle from this edge. It's 25, and at the middle of that rectangle it's 25. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a line from the middle of this, which is a triangular snap over there, this way. Just go beyond the rectangle over here, okay, and type in 25. It's going to create a line until that point. Then press escape. Now you can create a circle there. Okay. And the dia of that circle is 20, so radius is 10. Now you can delete this line if you want, but I'll not delete it because I'm going to create that rectangular part with it one shot. Okay. So I'm going to zoom in. So this way, 4, this way, until the middle, let's say 25, and this way 8, this way back 25, this way again 4, and then I'm gonna delete some lines over there using trim command. You can delete also if you want. I'm using trim command for that. Hover over the line and select that, delete it, and we have to trim some of the lines. Okay, so I'm gonna use trim command. This, it will show that cross. Once it shows the cross, you can click. Okay, it's ready. So this one, the height of this thing is that much, which is 15. Okay, let me confirm it again. Yes, it's 15. So let's go to, first of all, before going to the 3D tools, what are you going to do is you're going to select this drawing. Don't select the whole object. Don't do this thing. It's going to select the object. Just start somewhere here so you can select that part only. And then you're going to do join command. You're going to join them. It's one entity now. Now you can do extrude. Is the extrude gonna work for this? Let's try it. I'm trying my best. Okay, so here, yeah, it's gonna work. So the height of that is 15. So the part is ready. Let's union both of these parts together. This, no, just 1 minute. Union this and this. Press enter. So it's done. Now it's time to move it there. To move it, go to home command, home tab over here. Then press on this object, enter, then select the middle of this, select the middle of this, and then move it to the middle of this edge over here where it shows that triangle. It's moved. Okay, now it's time to subtract them. So 3D tools, subtract, click on this, press enter, click on this, press enter. Now the only thing that remains is this wedge. The height of that wedge is 25 and the width of that is 10. And the end of that wedge from the center of the object is 42. Not the complete object, I'm talking about the cylinder. From the center of the cylinder, it's 42, okay? So to create this wedge, we have to know how much is the length of it from this point until this, which is 14.5, because 42 minus 27.5 is going to give you that, okay? It's 14.5. So it's possible to create the wedge directly on this face. You can type in wedge here, but for that you need the starting point of the wedge, which is somewhere on the right of this, okay? First you have to create an edge on that, okay, on this surface. So to create that edge, let me show you first, okay, how to do it. Once you have the edge, you will click on that starting point and you will click on the ending point somewhere here and the wedge will be done like that. Okay, you can create the wedge, but this wedge over here is gonna, I don't think it's gonna cause any issues. First you have to make sure that that point is available, okay? Or you can create the wedge on the side and move it there. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. So let's try both ways. Let me try it first, okay? So if we go to sketch, I'm gonna go to top first of all, okay? And rotate this way. Sorry, that in this top, okay. Now it's the top, okay? You see that the top view is kind of like distorted type of view, okay? It's not actually showing you the top over here, okay? It's a perspective type of view. It's not like a aligned view. So it's really hard to sketch on this surface. It's better to draw the wedge on the side and then move it to this place, okay? Because then the geometry is gonna stay completely what we want. So I'm gonna go back to the 3D and I'm going to create the wedge on the side over here. To create the wedge, again the same rule. You're going to go and you can turn on this snap and pan is off. Then select this edge, zoom in, select this edge here, okay, and draw the cylinder again, 27.5 radius. And then from the middle of that cylinder, go that way 5, this way 42, this way 10, that way back 42, and that way 5. Now this is the geometry of the wedge over here. We are going to trim the rest. So I'm going to go trim, not here, it's in home. So that's trim. Trim this edge, this, that, this, not that, bring it back, this, okay. So you can see that the base of the wedge is created. So I'm going to select that and type in join. It's one piece now. Now I will go to extrude and press enter and move it to the height of 25. Okay. Then I will create a line on this surface from this corner to this corner, and then this and this. Then I will first make it union, not union. If it's line, you call it join. Union is for 3D objects only. Then you're gonna do press pull, select on this and go that way. Look, don't click anywhere, just go that way after selecting and type in 10. And you will remove this edge. You have to delete it, okay, because you used press pull. So the wedge is created. Let's move it to that place. To move it to that place, first bring it to the frame where you want it to be. Now you will move the base of that wedge. You will move the base of that wedge at the node point of the cylinder, okay? So I'm going to say move. You see that this is the part we want to select, enter, and then press at this point, at the middle of that bottom curve that we created, middle of that, and move it at that triangle. There you go. It's there. Now we will union the whole piece, okay? So 3D union this and that, press enter. 3D part is created. Let's pause for a quick minute. I just want to let you know that I'm offering a final crash course for MIAE 211. You can check out all the details on my website. If you go to the booking section and click on mech, and you can go to MIAE 211 and check out the details of the final crash course I'm offering, okay? If you want, you can even fill out the booking form over here, even though the timing is not available yet for the final crash course, but you can still go on with the booking, okay? In the final crash course, we'll be solving tons of exam style problems together to make sure you're fully ready for the final exam. So if you would like to join, just visit the website and sign up. Let's go back to the assignment now. Let's create the 2D. Let's go to the layout, delete this viewport. It's called viewport. And then go to the AutoCAD file we have from lab 1, the template. Okay, you're going to copy this template and close this and paste it here. It's going to be bigger in size, so you place it at the corner here. There. Then you select the whole template, okay, and press scale and click on this corner and scale it to the boundary wherever you want it to be, okay. There, it's ready. The template is ready. You can change your name and all the other details over here, make it lab 2. And now what are you going to do? Now let's create the views. To create the views, you're going to click on this button over here and click on from model space, okay. But once you click on that, it's going to ask you to install an add-in, okay, which you're going to install because my AutoCAD already has it. Most probably yours doesn't. So you will click on that and it will add the add-in over there, okay. Once you have installed the add-in, and then you click again on the base and click on from model space. And then you're going to select top here, top, and no need to change the scale or anything. We can adjust that afterwards, it's not a problem. And you're going to place your view here. In case your view is not properly orientated, the top is going to be top, but it's not going to be the same way you see over here, okay. So you're just going to click and press enter and press enter again. Don't do drag on either side over there. You can stay wherever you are or even drag, doesn't matter, but press enter. Don't click on the screen, okay? It's going to show you the view. That's the top view you want. Now let's change the visibility of that, okay? And let's change the scale of that. To change the scale, what are you going to do? Double click on the view, okay? And you can type in the scale here. The scale you have to type is 1 ratio 25.4 because that's what it has to be, because we drew everything in inches. We want to dimension it in millimeters, okay? So the scale we want to keep on the drawing is for the millimeters, because our template is in inches, okay? But the part we created was 25.4 times bigger because we created everything in inches, because the dimension of the part given to us in the technical drawings were millimeters. So that's why the scale has to be 1 ratio 25.4, okay? And then you can change the edge visibility, like if you want to show the tangent edges or not. You don't have to show them, okay? We don't show them normally. And then the scale and everything is done. The hidden lines visibility, it's already done. You can select visible and hidden edges and then press OK. Okay, so the view was not changed. Let me try it again. Double click. Yeah, that was not updated. 1 ratio 25.4 and press OK. Why it's not changing that? You have to enter on that. Yes, you have to enter on that. Enter. Just pressing OK, it's not going to work. You have to enter here. Okay, so now press OK. Everything is done. Let's move the view to the space we want to move it to. Okay, and then you will see that there are these layers over here. If they are not there, you can create them according to this layer template, okay? I've created them for the dimensioning, okay? So you have to create similar kind of layers. There is a layer for center line, hidden line, and visible line and all that, okay? You can see what thickness and everything is over there. You will create the layers. I've told you about the layers before also. You understand what they are, okay? So I'm gonna close this. Now let's create the front view. I will keep it section view because there is a requirement in the lab manual for exercise 2 is that one of the views has to be a section view, okay? So I will choose the front view to be a section view. So to create the section view over here, you will click on the view and say section. And then you will say full section and hover over this node and drag, just hover, not drag, okay? Just hover and go to the left and click here, and then go on this side and click again. And then if you move the view down, that is what we have to draw, okay? You see that if you move it up, arrows will switch because we are drawing everything in American standard, okay? So that's why it's going to follow that. So if you place the view here and press enter, it's going to draw the view for you, okay? All these lines have to be there exactly. They are exactly where they has to be, okay? And then you can double click on this and remove the scale out of that. You don't have to mention the scale, and then select the whole thing and change this into 0.1 and enter. 0.1 is way too small, make it 0.15, okay? And then click anywhere else and move the section name to the bottom of the view. Now from the layers, go select the center line, the one that you have created most probably, okay? And then press center mark and click on this circle and this circle, and then press enter and then press CL and click on this line and this line. And same thing for the smaller circle over here, this line. Yeah, there you go. But the center line over here is not going to show you the center mark because it's up to you. You want to create it by yourself or drag this up. It's going to start showing it, okay? You can drag it down also. and extend it. Okay, that's good. Now you can change the size of these letters over there if you want by going to annotation and going to this tab over here. Just 1 minute, it's not showing that option. You get out of the selections. If there is anything selected over here, just get out of that and go to annotation and click on this standard and then manage dimension styles. You can modify that and you can change the height of the text, or you can even change the primary units and make the precision to be whatever you want over there. Okay, everything is in millimeters, so I'm going to keep everything 00 over here. Okay, and because we don't want anything to be like 50.05 or something like that. Okay, we don't need that, and that's it. And the size of the text, I'm going to keep it 0.12 height. Close. Now if you add dimensioning, the size of the dimension, the size of the letter will be according to what we mentioned over there, but you will see that this extension line is center because the layer center was selected over there. You can change that into visible, but I don't recommend that. Go to the layer properties and create a new layer called dimensions. And then from the type of the line, select solid. That's okay. And then from here, make it the thinnest you can. 15 is really good. 0.15 millimeters is really good. Just make it a current layer and go out. Now select this and make it that one. Now you already in dimensioning layer also. Okay, you change this, but if it was changed back into center or something, then select dimensioning again from here, dimension layer, and then start dimensioning. Okay, to dimension over here, you know that this dia is 55, this dia is 30, this dia is 12. If it's snapping onto multiple points, you can turn off the snap from here. It's going to dimension the dia properly. You can say it's 12. Okay, and this radius is 10. It's better to say radius because it's not a complete circle. And then you go back into snap again and click from here to here, that's 30. And this length from here to here is 40. I'm not going to add all the dimensions. You're going to add them by yourself. I've shown you all the dimensions you need to create a proper technical drawing over here. You don't need the red ones, okay? Those ones are extra, but everything else is what you need, okay? And then you can also add the profile view over here, which is actually required. So you're going to click on this and say projected and then draw the profile view and press enter. You can even show the hidden lines to it. Okay, just 1 minute. Click on the view and say edit the view and hidden lines. That's okay. You can see that. You can add the center line to the hole over there also. And at the end, you're going to add a 3D isometric view over here. To add that view, you're going to go to base from model space and you're going to add one of these four. Okay, you're going to see that which one is better for you. For me, because the way I created it, this is not good. Yeah, this is the best one. So I'll click here and press enter and press enter again. The view is added. Okay, you can mention that this is an isometric view over here, and then you go on to print and select Adobe PDF or any other PDF from here. Okay, and select letter size here, and over here you will select Windows and click on the corners of the drawing and then click on the center the plot and maximum and click OK, and there you go, the technical drawing is created. You can rotate that and check out if everything is done. When you practice for the final exam of this course, you need problem packs printed to scale, and you need their reference solutions to make sure that what you're doing is correct or not. So instead of wasting your time redrawing the questions first and then solving the answers for those, okay, and then you don't even know that if your answer is correct or not, it's better you join the final crash course that I'm offering. I will be giving you almost 200 plus printed problems for the final exam practice, and we'll be solving most of them in the final crash course together, okay? So it's better you come to the final crash course and save a lot of time that you can put onto the other courses, okay? So I hope that I'll see you in the final crash course of MIAE 211. Have a good day.